Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. We are going to go through Australia versus India, the first test out of four, and we're going to talk about day 1 of 5. I've got with me Venu, who you probably recognize, and you should recognize from Venu's cricket catch up. How you doing, Venu?
Oh, good. There's been a good days of Test cricket, so that was good. So good. And more cricket to come over the next week and the next couple of weeks. So
Yeah,
a lot to talk
jam-packed
about.
schedule. Yeah, jam-packed schedule, as you're saying. Obviously, New Zealand, West Indies test match is starting. Then, no, sorry, not New Zealand, West Indies. Pakistan, New Zealand test match will be starting after the two or the three T20s, even, sorry. And yeah, so we've got a lot of cricket to look forward to. So that should be really good. And South Africa, Sri Lanka, but that's
A bit
later on,
later.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, but again, just it's good to see Test cricket back and in full flow after a little bit of a hiatus off, which it was opened up by New Zealand, West Indies, which was nice to see. Okay, this obviously a bit more of a competitive test match by the looks of it. I don't think we're going to be seeing an innings victory most likely here. A day-night test match, so it was nice to be able to catch most of the match, if not all of it, being here in the UK. Okay, so first of all, then actually let's go through the teams because I wanted to get your opinion on it. So for India, I think from my point of view, it wasn't too surprising. They had Prithvi Shaw, Mayank Agarwal, Pujara, Kohli, Rahane, Vihari, Saha, Ashwin, Yadav, Shami, and Bumrah. I think the only two sticking points were potentially Shubman Gill coming in instead of Prithvi Shaw. People thought that might be something they could have done beforehand, and also Rishabh Pant has scored 100 in the tour match, so people were thinking about whether he should be included instead of Saha. Were you surprised at all by the selection? Just quickly.
Not really. No, I think Saha's a superior glovesman. I
Yeah,
think that's why he was picked over
Pant.
Pant.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. No, that's
nothing
fair
really
enough.
surprising there.
I think Shaw, the bigger one, I guess, is the Shaw Shubman Gill one because I think people in India, especially, think that Shubman Gill's a bit more solid. Shaw was touted as being the next big thing a couple of years back, but he hasn't quite fulfilled his potential as of yet.
Mm.
But he's, who knows, he might get there, but we'll get to that. For India, sorry, for Australia, I think a bit more of a surprise. Matthew Wade, who on commentary they're saying has never opened for Australia, has never opened in first class cricket, and has never opened at youth level cricket. So he's never opened, it seems, a cricket match in his life, is opening the batting with Joe Burns for Australia. So he's going to be opening the batting when they basically come to bat in the first innings, and then he'll be joined by Labuschagne, Smith, Head, Cameron Green, Tim Payne, Pat Cummins, Mitchell Stark, Nathan Lyon, Hazelwood. Any surprises for you there?
I think the biggest surprise is how is Wade opening a Test match. We'll see. We'll see. I think he's been making runs in the Shield, but not as an opener.
No,
But it does really show that the selection dilemma they're having Australia, considering Warner is out injured. Will
Bukowski.
Kowalski has got a concussion, so I
Yeah.
think he would probably have come in. I'll be interested to see what will be the opening pair when Warner gets back to fitness and when Pukowski comes back to fitness. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think unless Burns and Wade score big runs, uh, I'm assuming one of them will potentially. Um, but David Warner obviously will definitely slip in there. It's just whether Pukowski gets a shout straight away. Eventually, he will force his way in because he's scoring so
Mm,
many runs.
that's true.
Yeah, for me, I think the biggest surprise is obviously, as you said, Matthew Wade. I would have thought they would have gone for Marcus Harris, who's more experienced and he's an opener for Australia and has played in a few tests as well. And I would have put Wade in there instead of Travis Head, kind of in that 5 position.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, it's a solid team. I think, as you said, the biggest thing is Matthew Wade. Okay, let's go straight in then to the day's play. So India won the toss and chose to bat at the Adelaide Oval, which is where the Test match is. So Shaw and Agarwal opened up, and then obviously you've got Stark and Cummins who opened with a new ball, and Australia got off to a flyer venue, didn't they, with Mitchell Stark? Um, yeah, I mean he was bowling quick at the start. Uh, obviously we know how dangerous he can be with a new ball. I don't think, apart from that wicket, for me, he wasn't as, I guess, potent and effective as he normally is. I think as he was later on the day, but that wicket, obviously, a really big wicket early on, just to kind of set the tone and get them in the driving seat early doors. Were you a bit surprised? It was a bit of a loose shot from Prithvi Shaw, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty loose shot. He played it outside the top stump, didn't he? He could
Yeah.
have easily left the ball, and
Yep.
he just
Played
inside
on.
edge to his stump.
Yeah,
So
exactly. He'll be really disappointed with that, won't
yeah,
he?
definitely. So
Especially because he's under pressure. I think because of the Shubman Gill exclusion, so that won't help his case.
that's true. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's definitely under pressure for his place. But yeah, so it was a very good start from Australia, and yeah, second ball of the day, second ball of the Australian Test match summer, out.
Yep, not a bad ball, is it, to get up there? I think it was at 144, 146 k's, so with 90 plus miles an hour, swinging into the right hander. Yeah. You should have left it, but I think it's a loose shot, isn't it? He obviously wants to get off the mark quickly. He's probably feeling under pressure a little bit.
Yeah,
it's a weird one. And Agarwal, I mean, he got a peach, 70 or 40, so he was kind of okay early doors, and then the ball that he got from Cummins, though, man, there's a reason why he's the number one Test bowler in the world. Just so consistent bowling that top of off stump line and length, but he just gets the ball to nip off the seam and nip off sharply off the seam as well. And this one came in to Agarwal and just cleaned him up top of off stump. What do you think of that?
Quality bowling from Pat Cummins. He's one of my favourite bowlers at the moment.
Yeah,
on the Test circuit. So, well, fair play to him. So with that wicket, with Agarwal's wicket, India were 32 for 2 off 18.1 overs. So they're going at a slow rate. Along came Kohli.
Well, Pujara and Kohli, yeah, didn't they? Yeah,
Pujara
after that wicket.
Well, so Pujara, obviously from last series, he hit a mammoth, I think 600 plus runs.
Yeah.
So during that partnership, I was thinking, yes, we're going to get a big score here. We're going to get a big score here. And it did look like that. He was, batting, at a strike of under 30. So a solid Test match innings from Pujara. Lyon got him, didn't he?
Yeah, so Kohli actually, as you're saying, Pujara obviously has had a very good series in the previous time that India toured Australia. But if you think about this as well, Kohli averages 72 at the Adelaide Oval, so from 7 Test innings. So he obviously likes this ground as well. So when I think Kohli and Pujara were in, they ended up, I think once they got past that 50 partnership, you're thinking, okay, they're on. Either one of them is going to get a big score or both are going to get some type of substantial score. But Pujara, so do you want to talk about that? Because he looked very uncomfortable with Nathan Lyon throughout the whole day, basically.
I think that was his... Lyon has got him out 10 times now in Test cricket.
Yeah.
So that's quite a fair bit you can call him. What's the word? His bunny.
His bunny. Yeah.
Exactly.
Thing is, one thing I want to touch upon actually is the way that Nathan Lyon bowls, and I think this is going to be really interesting to see how Ashwin bowls when it comes to Australia's innings. But Nathan Lyon obviously bowls a lot of overspin because he's very used to bowling on these Australian tracks where he doesn't get as much purchase. So what he does, he bowls a lot of overspin so that the ball bounces more, and it basically hits the bat higher than it usually would, and so it's harder as a batsman to play it right. And then it brings into play your leading edges, your nicks to potentially gully, leg slip, etc. So it brings those people in, silly mid on, silly mid off, etc. It brings those guys in. And one thing I wanted to mention as well, I thought he was getting a lot of turn. So more turn than I would have expected on a day one pitch. What did you think? Did you think he was getting some sharp turn?
He was getting some turn, and he's quite lucky that he has Mitchell Starc, who's a left-hand bowler, to come in around the wicket and create some nice footmarks for him to aim at. I'm not sure if he'll make a difference in the day one pitch, but later on may help him. But
Yeah.
it's surprising. Lyon is probably one of the best spinners out there right now in Test cricket. So fair play to him to get a key wicket. They look set. India's two. I would say, the issue with Pujara, I think he was batting a bit too slowly, and I think Kohli was batting during that partnership. They were batting quite at a slow rate, so they were slightly bogged down, especially Pujara. And I think Lyon got the key wicket there, and they were 3 for 100. So yeah, key wicket.
Yeah, I think Pajara, the way he got out as well, just I think a testament to how uncomfortable he was feeling. It was just the forward defense that he just basically misread the delivery completely, got forward to it, and then it was that inside edge that then kind of ricocheted off his
Yeah.
pad and then just looped to the fielder at short square leg. It was so at short leg even.
He could have come down a wicket more, maybe.
Yeah, he doesn't
Line a bit
seem.
more.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like the type of player who uses his feet to spin, which is maybe something he needs to. It's weird because obviously he scored a lot of runs, right? And he's obviously very effective in Test cricket. So I don't know whether it was just maybe it's just Nathan Lyon. Sometimes you have a bowler that you're struggling with, but it's something that he obviously needs to work on because they've obviously identified something with him. And as you said, a strike rate of 26 is pretty, even in Test cricket, is not great,
Well, it
especially
was needed,
when
though.
no,
I think
it
it was
was.
needed.
I think it was needed at the start. I think the issue was is that once you get into the 30s and 40s, you need to start thinking, okay, I should really have my iron, and he didn't. And I think that's what the issue was. Um, but okay, in contrast, Kohli, not his usual fluent self, but I think he, as you said, gritted his teeth. A very unlike kind of uncody like innings from him. We didn't see those flowing cover drives, those flowing, drives, even down the ground. We didn't see that type of game, did we? It was more leg side, nurdling the ball. I think it was 8 fours and 74 off 180 balls. What did you think of his innings?
He looked very good, and one of the things he worked on is the short ball game. He's playing the short ball very well, and he hit some really nice pull shots during his innings. So he looked very good. And you are right in saying, Fazan, that it wasn't a typical innings from Kohli, as a free flowing innings from Kohli. And I think that's a testament to Australia's bowling and also how the pitch was playing today.
Yeah, I think Australia's bowling was, for me, very, very good. I thought they were pretty much on the money for pretty much all the day. Not many loose deliveries that I can remember anyway. And I think that definitely meant that Kohli wasn't able to be at his free flowing self. But I mean, so we were thinking, okay, Hazelwood might get him out. He didn't get him out with the ball in terms of bowling wides, but he ended up getting him out via a run out. So let's quickly touch upon the run out because that could potentially be a turning point in the game. So him and Rahane going at decent partnership forming there. Rahane then hits one straight to mid off, and Hazelwood gets round quite nicely, but there's no run there. Anyway, so Rahane goes, yep, and then Kohli's basically committed, and then he goes, no, because he realizes, oh no, I'm going to get run out on the non-strikers then, sends Kohli back, and obviously Kohli is just stranded, and has one look back towards Rahane, and Rahane's like, oh, no, sorry, and so the vice captain runs out the captain. Quickly touch upon the run out, and also, do you think that could potentially be a turning point in this test match, and could it come back to bite them in the butt?
Well, I can't look into the future, and I can't really say if it would have been a turning point because Australia were bowling very well then. Kohli could have easily nicked off maybe a couple of balls later, and the new ball was around the corner. But considering that, and the fact the new ball was around the corner, that India were doing so well with the partnership, they were building a nice partnership, Kohli and Rahane. That run out was just comical. It was just absurd. I think it's one of the worst run outs I've seen. The fact that it was almost village in a way. Rahane hit the ball straight to Hazelwood, and obviously normally in club cricket, the non-striker will look, but in international cricket, because every moment counts. You trust your batting partner, and it was Rahani's call, and he got burned, literally got burned, and it is a
Yeah.
big wicket. Kohli looked set, and it wasn't a fault of his own. He did nothing wrong. He thought it was a nice single there, and to turn around and just thinking, oh, well done Hazelwood, and well done to Lyon for not fumbling it like at Headingley last year. So well done Lyon for not fumbling it.
Oh, Venu,
Um,
shush. You're talking like a proper English fan, aren't you?
what do you mean?
You're like, are you putting the knife into the Australians for the Ashes?
I'm not. I'm just saying well done Lyon.
Okay,
You didn't
okay.
fumble. That's all
I
I'm
thought
saying.
I thought that was a slight dig. I know you're not a massive fan of Lion. Oh man, fair enough. No, well, fair enough.
No. But yeah, big wicket. Would it be a big moment in the series? Potentially, considering Kohli won't be there for the next 3 Test matches. Yeah, I think it will. I think it is a big moment, and I think that did play with Rahani after, and I think clouded his batting, especially especially his review when he got out. That was shocking. So
Yeah,
he ran out the captain and he
we'll
wasted a review. Fair play, Rahani. Well, fair play.
yeah.
Well done, mate. But shocking.
Fair play. I think it's weird, isn't it? Because look, I mean, he was on 74, Kohli, and you're just thinking it's almost certain that he's going to get 100 here, because as you said, it wasn't the usual Kohli innings, but he was very solid, I thought, and you're right, he did play the short ball very well. He almost played some of them like a tennis
Yeah,
shot
he did.
almost.
Yeah.
And obviously that's something he's worked on to kind of control the ball when he's going to end up timing the ball early, so he kind of holds back. It's very interesting to watch, but it's something that obviously is it's innovation from whatever it is, the modern day cricket now, and it's quite interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, obviously I wouldn't be happy if I was run out like that, that's for sure, especially when you're on 74. Yeah.
Interestingly, Bizarre, it was only Kohli's second run out in Test match cricket.
Yeah,
What's
I remember
surprising
the commentator
stat?
saying he's quite a good runner between the wickets though, so I guess unless he's been burnt, which I'm assuming maybe that's not the first time was as
That's
well,
shocking.
then maybe that's why. But yeah, Rahane, so obviously when he was batting with Kohli, looked quite good. Eventually fell for 42 off 92. And I think you're right. I think when Kohli fell, it clouded his batting, and I think it was in his mind, in the back of his mind, thinking, "Have I just lost my team the game here potentially, or have I, you know, put us in a really precarious position?" And obviously he had, because look, I mean, Stark with that pink ball under the lights at 9 p.m. The commentator was saying it, and his stats are ridiculous. And I'll put them up here actually because someone sent it in our cricket WhatsApp group. His stats in day-night test matches is ridiculous. It's very, very good. And the reason why is because as soon as it gets darker and the lights are on and he's got that new pink ball, he starts, it doesn't just hoop, but he bowls at pace and he knows he's confident, right, running in at the end. And that's what happened with Rahane. Trapped completely plumb in front, full in swing delivery, trapped in, I think it was on his back leg, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was his back
It
leg.
was as well. And yeah, just a shocking. I don't know why Vihari. So it was actually Vihari told Rahane to review.
Well, I think because they're home umpires, they all have an extra review now. So I think that might have been why.
Yeah,
And considering he was the last recognised batsman.
Yeah, I think that's why, wasn't it? That's why,
Yeah.
wasn't it? I think.
Why not?
But I mean, I think they could have still kept it, but I can see why after maybe it was just a tactical decision to see. Look, who knows? Maybe. Yeah. But Rahane, I mean, he could tell it was Stone, and then obviously Hazelwood to Vihari. I mean, Vihari, he's someone who actually, if you guys haven't seen it, the Kohli and Smith, there's like a half an hour video that they've put together where they're asking each other questions. I watched it. It was a very good watch, by the way. So check it out. I think it's on Cricket Australia's website or something.
Correct.
Or YouTube.
On YouTube channel.
Yeah, yeah. So check it out. Really, really insightful actually, in terms of their mindsets. How they got into cricket, etc., etc. I won't go into it too much, but maybe that's something we could even do a video on, to be honest with you, because that's quite interesting to listen to, I thought. But anyway, so he was saying that Vihari is someone that he's looking forward to seeing in this series because he really rates him. Thinks he's very solid. Obviously, only had 11 test matches. He looked quite good whilst he was in. Nice little punch down the ground of Stark when he did have the new ball. But Hazelwood obviously trapped him LBW for 16. A little bit disappointing. And obviously, after that, you've got Sahan Raviashwin, who, look, Raviashwin averages 31, or I think it's early 30s in Test cricket. So he's no mug, but it's not ideal, right? What do you think, Venu? Who's in control at the moment?
I think Australia are slightly ahead. However, I think India have done well considering there were 2 for 32 at one stage. However, they'll be disappointed to think what could have been if Kohli wasn't run out, and what if Kohli was still in, because I reckon Kohli would have got 100 by the end of the day if he was still in. You know, who knows? But that's not the case. I think it's slightly Australia are slightly ahead here, and I think India would do well to get a 300 plus score.
Yeah, agreed.
If they get 330 plus, then India will probably be happy. But I just think Australia are slightly ahead.
100% agree. Yeah. Sorry, did you say India or Australia?
Australia are slightly ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Australia, you went, yeah. Australia, yeah, I agree. I think they're just they're just edging India a little bit here. I think because, especially tomorrow when they've got that new ball to kind of bowl to Saha and Ashwin, that's going to be a really crucial period of play, I think, for me. If they get a wicket or two in that, then, you know, they're in the driving seat for sure. So Saha and Ashwin are going to have to really, you know, yeah, they're going to have to shut up shop for a few overs anyway. Or they can go the opposite way and they can counter attack and hope that they can get quick runs early on. But we'll see. Ravi Ashwin seems like the type of counter attacking player. Doesn't really seem like someone who wants to, you know, bog himself down. So we'll see how that goes. In terms of bowling, I thought it was quite nice to see Cameron Green. I mean, bowling like 140 Ks, 6'6", I think it is. He had the best economy of all the bowlers, wicketless, but 1.67. I mean, he looks like a superstar in the making, as you said. You picked him in Venu's cricket catch up as the one to watch out for. Maybe that's a category we should do actually maybe in our yearly review or whatever video we might be doing, because I think he's one to talk about for sure. Looks really impressive. And Labuschagne managed to talk himself into an over, which there's the banter between the Australians. I was saying in our cricket group, I'd love to be a part of their team because they seem to have a lot of banter, don't they?
They do like that bit of their banter.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, what do you think of Cameron Green? Touch upon his bowling, because I thought it was quite good seeing him bowl.
Yes, it's good to see a tall bowler in there, and he's not as quick as the other pace bowlers in terms of Stark and Cummins, but he does, you know, hit the right length.
Yeah,
and he bowls a good line as well, and he can, you know, bog down a batsman, and he's a decent bowler, and it's one to look out for. And I think it's quite good for Australia, the fact that they've got a tall bowler now, someone who can use his height, but that adds to their already excellent pace attack.
Yeah, because Stark and Hazelwood are quite tall, but I feel like they don't like Stark because he's a bit more slingy, so I don't think he gets that bounce. Hazelwood does to a degree, but I think Cameron Green's even taller, and he really hits the deck hard, similar to like if I think of it historically, like a Flintoff, for example.
Flintoff,
who really bangs into the ground, right? And he gets that kind of action. And you're right, he's not as quick, but I mean, he got up to, I think it was like 141, 142. So he can get it up to 90 miles an hour in a test match. Then, you know, I think he'll be someone who will be great for Australia in all three formats, I'm sure. Okay. That's kind of everything I want to touch upon. How do you see this test playing out, Venu? I know it's hard after day one. But
it's hard to tell. You can never tell after a day of test match. I think India will be disappointed considering they won the toss and elected to bat first.
Yeah.
However, you know, they've done considerably well considering they lost those early wickets. However, I think it'd be interesting to see, as you were saying just a moment ago, Fazan, the next 2 wickets will be crucial for Australia.
Yeah.
If India can get 300 plus, 330 plus, then they can really exploit Australia's batting, especially their weakened opening pair. There's no
Mm,
David Warner, so they could exploit that and get Smith and Labuschagne in early. So it'll be interesting to see. So I can't really tell who's going to win this Test match until Australia have batted. So maybe if you ask me this time tomorrow, then maybe
yeah.
I'll have a choice. I'll give you a answer.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, well, we've got a nice day's cricket ahead, I'm sure, as you said, and I'm pretty sure Australia will be batting probably midway through the day, I'd assume. Interesting
Yeah.
to see how Matthew Wade gets on. That's going to be it could be a pivotal moment in the game because if they struggle with that opening pair, because Joe Burns is struggling for runs as well, it doesn't really protect Smith and Labuschagne, who obviously are the keys for Australia in that batting lineup. Okay, thank you very much, Venny, for being on.
No problem. Anytime.
Guys, no, thank you very much. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, like, comment, and share the vids, and please make sure you check out Venu's cricket segment, weekly cricket segment that he's been doing on the channel. Every week, it's Venu's cricket catch up, and Venu is presenting a really, really good show covering all the best news, uh, good and bad news from the week. So please check that out where we discuss it. And Venu also does his awards for the week, which is also really cool. So yeah, check that out. Thank you very much, guys, and stay safe. Thank you.